A different story here on Vancouver Island. Kool FM's Brittany filling in for Astrid tonight is here with weather. It is going to be a white Christmas for some people on Vancouver Island. Not us on the South Island, though.
It doesn't look like it. Not on this side of the Malahat, although around Shawnigan Lake, perhaps 2 centimeters of snow or wet flurries tomorrow. So if you are doing any travel, certainly be careful. Rain or shine or snow, just get where you need to be safe and sound. As we look at our current conditions now with your live SchoolNet weather sensors, temperatures at 4.6 at Wishart Elementary out in Souk. Some calm winds, those will pick up though this evening. As we look at our satellite image, we've got a strong frontal system approaching, bringing with it some stronger winds through the south coast tonight and into tomorrow. Although those winds will ease by tomorrow afternoon, this system will kind of just stall and eventually it will weaken. We're also looking at a wet system, which means the chance of showers changing to rain early tomorrow morning, and depending on your elevation, you could see some flurries for Christmas morning. As we head across Vancouver Island this evening in Port Hardy, cloudy this evening, periods of rain beginning tonight and winds upwards of 60 kilometers an hour, lows down to +1. Much the same for Campbell River and Courtney Comox, a 40% chance of showers bringing rain after midnight, and then those winds will pick up this evening for Santa Claus, but he will get through it. Over to the west coast, Tofino and Ucluelet will see 5 to 10 millimeters of rain and winds at 60 kilometers an hour, lows down to 3 degrees. Parksville and Qualicum, overcast and 2, and then +1 overnight for Nanaimo. Here in Victoria, a 40% chance of showers this evening as that wind picks up overnight, and a low of +3, and we're seeing more of the same around Sydney and Duncan. Overcast, chance of showers, lows down to 3, 4 degrees around Salt Spring. Tomorrow, as we wake up for Christmas morning, we've got clouds in Victoria with some morning rain, except as I mentioned, about 2 centimeters of snow near the Malahat. Winds at 60 kilometers an hour and a high tomorrow of 6 degrees for Christmas Day. We're seeing highs at 4 degrees and wet for Sydney. Over to the Cowichan Valley, Duncan, 4 degrees and rain. Nanaimo, Parksville, again getting to a high of 4 degrees. Rain or wet snow over higher terrain, about 4 centimeters depending on your elevation, and some winds again at 60 kilometers an hour. Ladysmith and Parksville, Qualicum, again 3 degrees, a little cooler in Ladysmith with the possibility of some flurries tomorrow and a high of just 0. And over to the west coast, Tofino and Ucluelet will see rain, 10 to 20 millimeters of it, and winds at 70 kilometers an hour, calming down afternoon and a high of 6 degrees. About 5 to 10 centimeters of wet snow for Port Alberni and a high of +2, and 1 with snow or rain for Bamfield. Over to Courtney Comox, about 4 centimeters of flurries of snow depending on your elevation, winds at 40 to 60 kilometers an hour with a high of 4 degrees, and we're seeing that trend continue for Campbell River as well. -1 tomorrow for Mount Washington with some flurries, some Christmas flurries if you're heading to the mountain tomorrow. And finally to the North Island, Port Hardy will get to a high of 5 degrees with periods of rain, stronger winds up to 80 kilometers an hour. Port Alice will see showers, wind and highs to 5, showers and wind for Port McNeill, and 2 degrees and wet for Sayward. If you're doing any travel within the province, Vancouver has periods of rain beginning in the morning, some wet snow over higher terrain, about 4 centimeters, some wind as well for good measure, and highs at 4 degrees. Prince George certainly cooler with a high tomorrow of -17, and then a mix of sun and cloud for Fort St. John. Your extended 7-day forecast for Greater Victoria looking wet through till at least Thursday. Friday, a break from the rain with overcast and highs to 6, and into the final weekend of 2012, we're looking at 30% chances of showers Saturday and Sunday, highs to 6 degrees. More rain through the Mid-Island with highs around 4 degrees, overcast and 5 on Friday, down to +1, and into the weekend Saturday, a slight chance of rain or flurries and highs around 6 degrees as well. And finally, your North Island forecast looking very similar, except for a mix of sun and cloud Wednesday and Thursday, so that will be nice with highs at 3 to 5 degrees. The rain is back Friday, and a 60% chance of precipitation into the weekend as well, with highs at 6 degrees. And finally, your Weather Watcher photo. Today's is sent to us from Connor. I love that. Nothing is better than a good snowball fight, and I love the guy in the red. He's got his fort going on. He's got some prefabricated snowballs. That reminds me of playing with my brother when I was young. I never had the time to put them together, and he was already nailing me with them. So thank you, Connor, for being the CTV Weather Watcher. We appreciate the artwork.
Brittany, thank you. We'll check in with you at 6.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joe.